I just received the best thing that could ever come to me in the mail, and it's this pocket memory vessel from Groudon Archive. This was gifted to me, and I'm so excited. I want to give you a tour of what's inside. I got this around 2 days ago, so I'm pretty much done with trying to personalize it, trying to make it mine. The first insert that I have is this commonplace journal, which I think is already quite familiar since I've shown this in my previous journal ecosystem video, though there has been some changes in my entire ecosystem because number one, I just completed my planner from last year. It's all filled out. Number two, I got this very pretty journal that I really want to use right away. So yeah, I have this. My approach to common journaling is actually quite simple. It's filled with scribbles because any idea that comes to mind or any quote, line, article, poetry, anything that I come across with that I just won't allow to pass me by, I put them down here so I can remember them forever or use them for future references. So that's how I usually go around with my commonplace journal. And the second insert that I have is my new planner. I've yet to find a planner in this size, so I just made my own. And I like it because it's in a format that really works for me. I really love having a planner with a monthly spread. And on this side, I have my small wins for the month just to keep me grounded or keep me motivated. And I also have some empty pages for me to detail my plans or the things that I need to do. And the final insert that I have is my good old mini dictionary. I think I've shown this a couple of times already, and each word that I just learned and might want to use in my future works, I list them down here. This corner right here is where I want to store some of my photo booth photos. It's really one of the things that I like to do when I'm outside, when I'm alone, or when I'm on a date, or when I'm with my friends. I really like going to photo booths, so I'm planning to fill this with more pictures moving forward. Yeah, this is my very beautiful pocket memory vessel. I specifically chose these three for the inserts because I want this to be as functional as possible. I want this to be my daily journal, something that I would want to reach for daily, or when I'm carrying a bag and the space left only allows me to carry one journal, it would be this. It has to be this. I'd also like to thank Andy for sending me this. This is like an early birthday present for me because as early as now, though my birthday is like months away, in December, I've been trying to look for local shops that sell these kinds of notebooks. I even shared something on my Instagram story about really owning something like this on my birthday. Fast forward, I now have this in my hands and I'm so happy. I love every detail of this notebook. Actually, before this was sent to me, I was on a call with Andy so I could choose which color would I want for my journal. Even the strap, I was able to choose the color and of course the charms. So I chose these two charms for the front. I think this is a Dalmatian Jasper, and for the side, these two, because while I was on a call with Andy, I was at the beach, so just to commemorate that little moment. So yeah, this is my very pretty journal. I'm so happy. I'm so excited to use this moving forward. And thank you to Grotto and Archive for sending me this. I will be treasuring this for the rest of my life. The book that I'm currently reading is I Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. It is our book club read for June and July. And as a slow reader, I would say I've been making a lot of progress with it lately because in such a short span of time, I was able to get around halfway through the book, which rarely ever happens. But I think this was made possible because of how much I've been enjoying the writing, aside from the fact that it's such a short read. There's something in a way that's written that just has so much detail because we're following the story through the eyes and the mind of this young girl. And the writing has so much detail, but at the same time, there are certain gaps that can never be filled unless you really finish the story. So this entire experience just really behooves you to keep going until the end. If you guys haven't heard of this book, we're basically following the story of this young girl, and she's being imprisoned with other women. And since I'm still halfway through the story, I'm still at the part where we get to follow this collective routine that all these women have. They're being deprived of the basic human experiences like having the sense of touch, this concept of time, normal societal interactions, and even men. They're only being handed with the basic necessities to survive, like food, water, and shelter, which I think can never be enough because being imprisoned in such a limited space feels so claustrophobic. And as we follow the days of these women, we can really see how much they struggle to find meaning in their lives. Their days are being dictated by routines, and the look into the future is so narrow or almost non existent. And as a reader, you're just being left with this hunger to really find out what happens next. So that's basically I Have Never Known Men so far. And while we're at it, I also want to talk about my most recently finished book, East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I just finished this month, finally. I've been reading this for as long as I can remember, and I would say this has been the most definitive book of my year so far, and I think it will stay that way for a little longer. I remember picking this up as a student, and now I'm putting this down as an adult who has to be employed so that long. Within the entire period that I was sporadically reading this book, I was also going through this very crucial transition of my life, and I was going through a lot of changes, and somehow this book was the only thing that remained constant. And when I say constant, I'm not talking about this book being flat throughout the end, because the characters evolved for sure, and the plot just continued to thicken every time I picked this up. I think it was more of the experience that was constant to me, that while I was going through a lot of changes, reading this felt like a routine and it was comfortable. So I think this will remain a favorite for a very long time. I think it was also really helpful that I decided to just really take my time with this book, because reading this at a pace of my own allowed me to sit down and have at least one thing that didn't need rushing at a time when I was constantly facing changes at a very fast pace. So, I will be talking more about this soon, including my approach to reading this, because I also have my reading journal right here, and I would say I've taken a lot of notes. So, that's a reading update, and I will be seeing you next time.